example. Why do I think you should use American Express? Well, in your business, they actually go off performance. How much are you using these cards? And then they raise your limits automatically with algorithms when it comes to the charge cards. And then when it comes to the credit cards, you can actually get a credit limit 3x your current limit every 6 months, okay? Which is super nice. So if you have a $5,000 limit, 5 times 3, $15,000. It's a nice way to grow your credit over time with a soft pull, okay? So I love American Express for that. And then also American Express has some of the best travel rewards out there. The points with Chase, the points with Amex, they're the best in the game, okay? A lot of people use their things wrong. We're going to cover that as well. But as far as American Express, it's fairly easy to get. If you have a good credit score, we're going to talk about how to qualify for that. The travel rewards are great. The credit lines are great. And the more you're good to American Express, the more you use American Express, the more they'll be good to you. The interesting about American Express is this, right? We have Visa, we have MasterCard, we have Discover, we have American Express, right? Those are the form of payments. But then also American Express is a bank, right? So it's all, so it really, it makes money off the interest. It makes money off the transaction fees as well. One other thing that I really like about American Express is really for the people. Okay, so they really give the buyer a lot of protection, which is really nice. Unlike other companies out there, American Express is huge on protecting the consumer. So that is amazing, number one. All right, so let's get into the next one. So let's talk about some interesting, so why should you use American Express? Well, you should use it if you're growing your credit, because it's going to be easy to really scale your credit. You should use it in your business because it's really easy to get 0% business credit cards with them as well. So you don't have to work with Fund and Grow or any other funding company. You can literally get this yourself, do this yourself. And they also have a lot of different options that I'll be talking about as well. So let's talk about some interesting facts. First of all, they have credit cards and they have charge cards. The difference, everybody, is a charge card is you have to pay it in full every single month, okay? You can have up to 10 charge cards with one social security number, okay? Let's talk about that. Now, what that qualifies for is, let's say you have 2 businesses, okay? First of all, let's get it out of your head. Can I do this with no PG? Not unless you're making $2 million a year. If you're not making $2 million a year, you don't qualify for a commercial credit card with American Express. So right now, let's eliminate the question, can I do this with no PG? Not unless you're making $2 million, okay? So unless you're making $2 million, you're gonna have to co-sign on behalf of your business. So if you have a business credit card with them, you're gonna be using your social security to personally guarantee the business credit card, okay? So business credit cards, they need to be the business credit cards, business charge cards. They're going to be both guaranteed with your personal credit. As far as the charge cards go, these are paid in full every single month, unless you do the pay over time option with American Express. And I wouldn't recommend that because it's very, very high interest. Now, sometimes when you're going to get a new American Express charge card, you can see, is there a promotion where there's 0% for 6 months, 0% for 12 months, okay? That can vary depending on what the promotion is. Another hack that you can use is you can use like a VPN service to get the best deal possible. For example, let's say you're in Iowa. Folks don't make as much money in Iowa as they make in California, right? So the whole offer could be different for somebody in California versus somebody in Iowa. So the VPN can really come into play when it comes to getting the best offer possible for you, okay? So charge cards, like I said, they got to be paid in full every single month. We're going to cover some of those. Credit cards, you can carry a balance with them. But the thing about American Express is they have very hefty interest, okay? They are great with rewards, but they will hit you over the head with interest, okay? This is not going to be your low interest credit card whatsoever. You're better off with a credit union when it comes to that. But I'm just going over all the differences. They have credit cards and they have charge cards. Now, the charge cards have the highest annual fees. The credit cards don't have those high annual fees unless they're a co-branded card, which we'll go over as well, like the Aspire card, the Delta card, the Marriott card. They have different tiers of these cards as well. So based on the different card that you go within that series will be the different annual fee that's attached to it, okay? But for the most part, the charge cards are going to have the higher annual fees. You can have up to 4 credit cards with American Express and 10 charge cards. So if Shamori has a business A and has a business B, he's co-signing for both of those businesses, right? So what they classify as 10 charge card is you using your social security, period. Okay. Because whether you have a business, you're still using your social security because that's guaranteeing the debt. Okay. So if you have two businesses, you can share, 5 cards between each. You can do 9 cards with one and one with another, whatever you want to do. Okay. But you can only have 10 accounts of the charge cards total. Okay. So you can actually have up to 14 cards with American Express, 4 being credit cards, 10 being charge cards. Okay. Now we have a differential things right here. There's a little bit of differences here. Personal cards are different than how they operate with the business cards with American Express. Let's go over that. Personal cards are going to report to the personal bureaus, and charge cards do not reflect credit limit unless bucketed. Okay. We'll go over what bucketed means. What bucketed means is normally when you get a charge card with American Express, there is normally not a spending limit. That doesn't mean you have unlimited credit. It means that they have not allocated an actual credit limit to your account. There's an internal limit that they won't let you go over, right? But they actually won't be reporting an actual credit limit to the bureaus unless you're bucketed. So that means, example, again, Shamora uses his card in a way that they don't deem fit or they don't like or they feel is risky. They could say, you know what, Shamori, we're going to take your gold card. We're going to move it down to a $4,000 limit. So if Shamora uses $2,000 of it and it reports to the bureaus, well, he has a 50% utilization at this point. Okay. So you guys need to know that if you're bucketed, they will report that line to the bureau like that. And they'll almost treat it like a credit card in that sense to the bureaus. Okay. But if it is not bucketed, now we don't have that utilization problem. So the best thing, if you're not going to use a business credit card, is to use a personal charge card. I've never even said that on my YouTube channel yet, but that's the bottom line. If you're not going to use a business credit card that does not report to the personal bureaus, then you want to be using a personal charge card that does not state an actual limit, because there's no utilization if there's no limit. Does that make sense? Hope so. Okay. So the personal cards, they're going to report to the bureaus. That's great, because when you're building credit, you need trade lines, right? And we're going to talk about in this presentation, when should you actually apply for a personal credit card with American Express? Because, and I have my own thoughts and opinions on that. This is not the first card in your series that you want to go for whatsoever. Also, I told a lot of you guys when you guys joined this mentorship, it's what you don't know that could be hurting you, and you don't know what you don't know. There's a strategic way to apply for these cards so that way you get the most bang for your buck when it comes to inquiries and new accounts, right? You have to know the game to play the game, all right? So business cards is a little bit different, okay? Business cards do not report to the business credit bureaus. What does that mean? They will not help you build business credit, okay? So you say, well, why do I want it? Well, it's going to be great because it will help you hide your utilization, okay? For those of you guys that are brand new, we have a bunch of replays. Go back into the replays, watch the personal credit videos that we've made, watch the business credit masterminds that we made. There's over 30 hours of content on the business side already, okay? But because the business cards do not report business credit, okay, they do help you hide your utilization because these business cards do not report to the personal bureaus. So they don't report to the personal bureaus, so there's no utilization problem. They don't report to the business credit bureaus, so they're not helping you build business credit, okay? But what they are doing is they're also helping you get higher limits and a better point structure for everything that you do with American Express, okay? So you're basically going to have higher limits on the business cards than they're going to give you on the personal cards. Why? Because they have done so much market research, American Express. They actually know, why does this person need $80,000 credit line? How are they using $80,000, right? Especially with an economy in 2023, a lot of lines are going to be cut. A lot of people have had their Amex card cut. A lot of people have had their Amex card bucketed. If that's you, put me in the chat, okay? If you've had any line cut so far, get ready. There's going to be a lot more. The whole goal here is to get into business credit, okay? Businesses and business credit is the key to being successful as an entrepreneur. The reason why people don't get into this is because they don't know the game. You're going to learn the game, okay? But the nice thing about the business credit cards is they do not report utilization to the personal bureaus, okay? So you can hide your utilization, put all your spend on there. I'm even going to show you the 0% strategy with American Express as well. Okay. But you can get some massive lines with business cards, and it's really helpful for real estate investing, fix and flips, things like that. Okay. Paying contractors.